because what I actually want to focus on is the absolute state of the video containing all this information, how it is pretty much the textbook definition of how not to do an exposed video with serious topics, because this video is absolutely chock full of painfully unfunny reaction memes. Here's a short compilation.
You can be Jerry Seinfeld, who dated a 17-year-old when he was 38.
And she's also 17.
Bold and beautiful.
She's so young, she doesn't realize I'm a predator.
Because you don't want to go to college is just and selfish.
Oh, you are just the worst type of person.
Nothing happened. Cool.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
He has been hyping this video up for weeks. You heard that right. Hyping it up. Hyping up a video about serious allegations that don't even affect her because I guess she just thought it was funny. It's a gross video and I hope everyone involved with the production regrets it for the rest of their lives.
You done messed it up, you really messed it up. Good afternoon everybody. There is our commentary channel going by the incredibly long name of ILoveKimPossibleAlot, who, just like me, want to cover the Saberspark allegation that came out recently, as well as some issues with DAGames. But sadly, I bring up today's video for a bad reason, because she's been getting quite a lot of backlash for her coverage of it. In her video, she tried covering very serious topics by injecting really old reaction gifs and like 2011 memes to make it more funny, I guess. There's literally people calling her out for not treating the situation with the right severity, and channels like Cartoon Shit made a video about it. Also, FYI, for your info, please watch this video only if you can handle cringe, because there will be a lot.
The obvious trigger warnings are listed on screen.
But I like to think of myself like the Jon Stewart of the YouTube animation community. I call things out when I feel like I can add something to the conversation.
I don't wanna be alive anymore.
If memory serves, there's also a nude version.
That's disgusting.
And for the record, I
Hell
assume
yeah, I love some
this nude was
SpongeBob.
being recorded because it was a call about
my nose is so
safety.
goddamn
It only
itchy.
gets worse from
If you're
here.
going out with someone your own age, you can't take advantage of them.
For some reason, people think I'm unqualified to do this.
You know, I think they might have been onto something. Hello Sloppers, welcome back to Slop Live. Have you ever wondered what would happen if an anime
Slop Live? He's sort of from Dolan
could
Dog.
click on the opportunity to
Thief.
expose serious predator allegations and just didn't know how to switch off of internet funny man mode? Well, that's what we've got here today, because as of
Also, to give my own input on this, my own reference, I saw backlash for this, for this video, and even like that account, Brony Fandon, was shouting her out, and apparently, she messed it up so bad that she took her own video. Like, no, she made it unlisted, right, and then she took it down fully private. It was that bad.
last night, as of
So I really want to see, like how badly it was formatted.
in this video, the
to get
creator
that much
known
of
as
a backlash.
ILoveKimPossibleAlot took on the daunting task of
Also, what an awful name. I love Kim Possible a lot.
exposing two very large
Yeesh.
YouTube creators in the same 2-hour video and alleging some very serious
That's well, okay, I'm sorry, that's so goddamn fun. Why would you take down two huge YouTubers, Saberspark and DAGames?
allegations against both, and proceeded to completely
Oh,
full-fledged
that's well, take down Saberspark? Like, yeah, like, if you saw my video so far, I think the allegations are a bit dodgy. Unless, like, she had, like, new evidence in this video.
Your face and
Like,
ass
even
and-
then, take down Saberspark.
simultaneously by not
Don't get-
treating the
don't get ahead
subject
of
with any
yourself.
amount of respect. The creators being accused are DAGames, most famous for his original songs based off of video games such as Five Nights at Freddy's, Bendy and the Ink Machine, so on and so forth, and Saberspark, one of the most popular channels in the YouTube cartoon community and the strongest gooner of today. The gist of it is that DAGames
yeah.
is being accused of preying on a minor with a lot of receipts and evidence, regardless of their potential validity, and Saberspark
Now, okay, disclaimer, right? I'll make a lot of funny comments, for the Saberspark stuff, but when it comes to DAGames, I won't say much, because, those are very tacky
being accused of
allegations.
sexually ass-
Tacky as, I don't know the full picture, and when they involve minors, whatever I say could be much more volatile.
assaulting someone 12
Should I
years
be
ago with a
wrong?
single tweet longer that was posted by a third party. Now, in this video, I'm not going to go into the validity of the claims themselves, because I'm not really in a position to do that, and I think most of us watching can agree that victims should have their stories heard out and should be supported, and if possible, not completely writing someone off as a rapist based on hearsay and no concrete evidence. Because what I actually want to focus on is the absolute
smart
state
guy,
of the video
smart
containing
guy.
all this information, how it is pretty much the textbook definition of how not to do an exposed video with serious topics. This is, without exaggeration, one of the worst videos I've seen on this platform. I am not being
God.
hyperbolic, I am not being dramatic. I have seen a lot
Also,
of
that's what, I've seen most people like this, like people like Tucky Tom, right? When they tackle very serious allegations, they normally take away their cartoon avatar because it looks very ridiculous. But like for her to have her video, you know, with like a quirky character on screen, it makes like, you know, all the more, even more funny.
Terrible exposed
and
videos
less
before, and this is
serious. Like, look at
genuinely a
this shit,
contender for
dude.
the absolute worst. And it shows just how badly it's
She paid at best $20 for that.
situation and a victim's accusations can be affected when being poorly handled by dipshit YouTubers who care more about entertaining people and clout chasing
It's a bit mean.
than actually spreading awareness. Let's just dive right in. This video's tone is fucking rancid, despite the incredibly serious subject matter.
Also, she premiered the video. I don't think that's bad by itself. Like, you know, it gives sort of like an air of being like, guys, get ready. We're taking down Saberspark and DAGames. Whoop whoop, you know, get ready.
To be handled with the utmost care and respect. I love KimPossibleAlot, who I will be referring to as KP for the rest of this video because Jesus Christ, what a name, doesn't really seem to give a shit because this video is absolutely chock full of painfully unfunny reaction memes, poor taste jokes, and painfully unfunny sketch comedy that completely obliterates the tone and seriousness of the video and inherently devalues the allegations and how seriously people should take them. Here's a short compilation.
Welcome
Oh
to another
god. I have a very strong nose for cringe, right? So, you know, whatever unfunny stuff goes on right now, oh, it's gonna be painful. It's gonna be like a good kind of painful, like, you know, a good kind of a spicy.
segment of maybe the internet was a big fucking mistake.
Big mistake.
Oh my god, dude.
Imagine
Reaction videos, oh my. I knew like she would have some of them in here, but like, that one's like really old.
consequences
Big
for your
fucking mistake.
actions. Part 2. Will Ryan is a textbook pedo and probably very unstable person. Sorry, yo. Then child grooming is bad, right?
Well, no shit.
Guess you can be Jerry Seinfeld, who dated a 17-year-old when he was 38.
And she's also 17.
Bold and beautiful.
She's so young, she doesn't
Also, like this might be the first time like these allegations have like broken into like the public light. So to, you know, spread them with like very shitty like bottom text gifs, yeah, it's like the worst way to spread them out there.
realize I'm a predator.
Because you don't want to go to
Also, as well, Seinfeld in the year of 2025. Are you kidding me?
college is just shitty and selfish.
Oh, you are just the worst
Bro, Family Guy reaction videos? You're kidding me, right?
type of person.
Nah,
Can you not like be fucking serious about it for a second? Like, okay, I'm not sure what the stance is on, you know, on DAGames or Saberspark. I mean, if you made a video about them, you know, odds are she believes, you know, them as rapists or pedos, whatever, like, respectively, right? But like, even if you believe the victims, you know, as them being wronged, why would you make the situation lighter by having god-awful memes in your video?
cool.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
I've come to make an announcement! Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch-ass motherfucker! He pissed
Did you pay someone for this animation?
my wife, that's it! He said his dick was this big!
And that's just scratching the surface. When it comes to
Don't give me any. I don't want any more
allegations
of
that are
that,
this
please.
serious, treating your exposed video like an episode of Seinfeld is probably the worst choice you could possibly make. It's an insult to the victims, it's an insult
I'm
to
sorry, her avatar is so
the
goddamn
audience's
ugly.
intelligence.
It's not ugly, but like, it looks so milquetoast. It's insulting to the eyes.
It all reflects poorly
So
on
basic,
you. KP responded
basic.
to these critiques shortly after taking the
Oh, well, can I read that? I'm gonna read that real quick. Hold on, give me a second. I've heard the concerns about my recent video and want to acknowledge that part of it didn't land the way intended. What was your intention? Whatever. While it was reviewed by several people, including CSA survivors, whatever, who were comfortable with the tone, I now understand that others experience it very differently, and that's valid. This was my first time covering a topic of this nature, and I'm still learning how. Okay, I feel bad for her, right? Because if that's true, fair enough. But like, if you're like a grown-ass woman, odds are you ought to know, like the path to take for this kind of a situation, in my opinion. Whatever. I've taken the video down, and I'm considering how I should approach it more softly if it's revised. You know, you can talk about it very simply, like I did in my video, but like, you know, just get rid of like that avatar and get rid of the, you know, 80% of the jokes, because they all suck from what I saw. The intent was never to diminish anyone's story or experience. Thank you for those who provided feedback. I appreciate the chance to make the changes necessary to give proper respect to the material discussed. That's what, you know, if she makes like, you know, like a revised version, fair enough, that'd be fine. But, you know, I was like, no, hold on. This was your first try, you know, like not like first try, like, you know, situation, but a first try going after Saberspark and DAGames. If there was like an actual bad case, you might like, you know, heard it even worse. But like, I don't
video
know.
down by claiming, guys,
Like for the first person, you know, with like a fan base to go after it, you sort of like heard the story by doing a piss poor job at
it's
it.
my first time actually covering a topic of this nature, so sorry if I handled it poorly, which is a complete lie because they already made a video about Lily Orchard which covered these same topics and was handled
She lied as well.
far more
an hour
than
long.
this. And then there's also the fact that you're a grown-ass woman and you should know better than to treat
Exactly.
your Predator exposed video like a meme compilation. I have no idea what compelled KP to treat the situation as unseriously as she did, while pretending she was taking it seriously. And this extends to her activity outside of this video. What some people don't know is that the presentation of this video wasn't some massive oversight. It was a direct result of KP's ego being so inflated that she deluded herself into thinking
Ego? Oh
she was the
god.
main character.
Wait, hold on. Was she wronged by DAGames or Saberspark? And that's why she made this video? Oh god, if it's biased.
On her Twitter, she has been hyping this video up for weeks.
Oh god, bro, I hate this shit. Every single time. It's like when Rosanna Pansino was like hyping like sorry, what am I saying? It's like when a dog pack was hyping up the video, being like, yo, we just got like the Mr. Beast group chat messages, and guess what? There's CP in it. Like, you know, they abuse, you know, like the very sensitive topics for their own personal gain. You know, like making a huge video about it because they know people will watch it. It feels like that, you know. Maybe not as egregious. No, you know, whatever. I think maybe as bad as that.
It's up. Hyping up a video about serious allegations that don't even affect her because I guess she just thought it was funny. Going on the first day, 72 hours remain. Time to kick some pedo and rapist ass tomorrow.
Oh my god. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I didn't watch her video at first, but if she's going out of what you call Saberspark, at least, a pedo or a rapist, that's bad.
Smiley face. Yes, Your Honor, please draw your attention.
Like, with what you have so far, can you definitively call him a rapist? That's
the YouTube
fucked
poop
up.
I uploaded last week. What other reason is there for this that's somehow more charitable than you finding it funny? Because that's bad enough on its own. The only other alternative is that the entire time you were making this video, you were rubbing your hands together like a cartoon villain and fantasizing about how much clout you were gonna get from taking down 2 channels of over 1 million subs and beating down on predators. I
agree. Like that. No, sorry, I agree now. Yeah, actually, like from what I saw so far of that video, right? You don't make that video for being very dumb, or you know, like it being your first time tackling it. Because if it was, you'd be more cautious. But what I saw from those videos, from those funny gags, right? It seemed like a person that really wants to make this video, and you know they're prideful about it.
Believe in the best in people, and personally, I think the best I can see in you is that you just found the entire situation hilarious. But I'll leave any other interpretation up to the public, I guess. This shit is so f***ing cringe. Jesus Christ, there should be an award for being this tactless. It's expose week. Just call me Moses, because I'm about to bring down some plagues.
Oh
and then
my
she attaches
God.
some.
I'm sorry, like, not a single person, like commentary channel, ever wants to be like the forefront of allegations, because if they fuck it up, they really get fucked. So, you know, I think in this situation, she has no idea what she's doing.
Fan or a
like, she understands 1%, but she's going all the way, you know, because of her ego.
person drove her, where she's portrayed as Moses holding up the Discord commandments.
Oh
Stop
my God,
hyping up
yeah.
a video about
That's like not funny at all.
predator allegations, you fucking buffoon. You are not Kendrick Lamar. And we're
That pray about the heat.
still
Holy
not
shit.
done when it comes to her complete lack of tact with the situation. KP managed to get a good few people to provide their voices to narrate certain parts of the video. With some people you might actually recognize, like June the King for
Oh yeah, bro, she somehow got June the King into this. And that sucks, you know, because I love that guy, but somehow he was dragged into this.
example.
Oh,
However, it's
poor
become very
bastard.
clear that KP was very likely not honest at all about what she needed these people's voices for. Kayla says, the person who provided the voiceover for the beginning of the video, commented on a re-upload stating that KP had not told him what the video was going to be about and what she needed the audio for in the first place.
Oh my god, she tricked them into like, you know, what crazy project they want to be part of. Okay, I have no idea, you know, what she sold them initially, but now imagine like hearing your voice in the video calling Saberspark and DAGames a pedo and a rapist, respectively. That's insane. That's like actually malicious.
It's completely out of the loop
Or
of
like, you
whatever
know,
this
just entirely scummy.
was, and only accepted the offer because her and KP were mutuals. Obviously, it's probably a good idea to know what you were working on before sending voice lines over, but this is still incredibly...
Because, you know, like these allegations are complete bullshit. You know, I'm speaking for the Saberspark stuff, because, you know, I have no idea what's going on with DAGames, but like, if those allegations are complete bullshit with Saberspark, then yeah, you really hurt yourself. Like, if your voice is seen, also heard, in a video, you know, backing up false allegations, then that hurts you really, really bad.
Interesting.
Like, even if you defend yourself being like, oh, I had no idea this was going on, some people may not just buy it at all and still blame you for participating.
And unfortunately, it can be backed up with actual proof from a different source. A small YouTuber known as StillDubs was contacted by KP to provide voices for the video as well. Only StillDubs ended up declining the offer since KP wasn't in a position to pay them for their work, apparently. Yes, a 120,000 sub YouTuber who's been on the platform for over 10 years can't be bothered to pay for a handful of lines. Like,
fucking stingy,
shit, would have been like $5-10 at most. But okay. Getting past that hurdle, Still dumped their DMs of KP on Twitter.
It was only $5 or $10? Oh, you can spare that much.
The entire conversation really shows how profoundly unprofessional she is, completely refusing to let Stell in on what is actually being covered and what she needs the voiceover, simply telling them she wants to do a funny voice and describing the video's contents as spicy. Continuing,
like, it's dodgy, you know, she won't pay them for like $5, and even more dodgy that she won't tell them what for. I mean, he might get the context, you know, from like what he's reading, but like it would be good to know that he's partaking in a video, potentially being wrong and slandering someone.
Her complete lack of respect for the subject matter by treating it all like a massive joke and keeping VAs completely in the dark about what they're actually providing their voices for. Now, not every VA used for the video has come out about it so far, at least to my knowledge, but this is a pretty I
think June the King, like he's a very smart guy by himself, right? I think he'll come out soon and be like, I had no fucking idea what I was partaking in. Like, all of his videos are very airtight. He really fucks up, you know, like an allegation or a story. So like, if he hears a voice in a video, like calling someone a pedo or rapist, I mean, I haven't seen the whole video yet, but from like the presentation, yeah, it feels, you know, it feels like he's slandering them. So if he finds out, you know, how piss poor the video is, he would make a statement being like, I had no fucking idea.
Concerning pattern. And then there's the matter of them just taking someone else's audio and using it without permission. Remember that god-awful Sonic fan dub reference she made about Saberspark? Well, you may have noticed that it isn't the original audio from Snapcube, but instead an alternative dub of it from a different person. Now, given this video's use of voice actors, you would probably be under the impression...
it's not as bad. I mean, is that like a well-known meme? Because, you know, I guess like it's fair use at that point.
This is someone she hired to do an unfunny skit. But no, it's actually a completely unrelated audio clip from VeggieBLT, where he did a full cosplay of Dr. Eggman while reciting the pissing on the moon bit from the Snapcube dub, and he was completely unaware and was not asked for permission. Now you may be
I don't really mind that as much, you know, it's a short, funny gag.
You're wondering, what's the big deal? The entire point of making memes is recycling content into something new. While considering every other VA featured in this video was signed on to the project, some people are going to assume that this redub of an old Sonic video was made specifically for this video, and it's completely unfair on the creator of the audio.
No, I feel like the meme is bigger than this video. I feel like, you know, like when people hear it, you know, they'll be like, oh, that's like the funny Twitter video I saw before, you know, and not the shitty Kim Possible
given they're a much smaller channel and want nothing to do with this. Which begs the question of why the f didn't you just use the original Snapcube audio? That audio is iconic, everyone using the internet knows where it's from, and there would be no confusion. Why use a smaller creator's dubbed audio and make them feel uncomfortable being tied to a project like this when there is literally no difference between the—
So I guess that voice dub is not as big as, you know, as people know about it.
The two completely different voices.
So if they hear it from that video, that's the first time they hear about it. So that guy's reputation is being tied to a shitty video slandering someone.
Everything about this
or potentially slandering them.
Video is...
No, when you have a video called this, what ruined Saberspark and DAGames, I don't think you're being charitable by any metric.
So unprofessional, it is blowing my mind. Alright, let's get into some other issues. This video was not supposed to be about Saberspark. It was originally just supposed to be about DAGames. There have been
Wait. She like crowbarred the Saberspark stuff into it, like midpoint.
Allegations towards DAGames for a while now that just haven't hit most people's radar since not a lot of people know the full context and haven't been able to make videos about it. KP was originally making a massive expose on DAGames specifically, and it's why for the first hour or so of the video, it is just about DAGames with pretty much no mention of Saberspark anywhere to be found.
Yeah, that's so bizarre, right? Why not attempt to take down DAGames and then go after Saberspark? Because when you have a video, you know, that long and there's two people who aren't connected by any ways, then yeah, you know, it muddies up the chance of you succeeding. and what you
So
want.
why is Saberspark here exactly? Well, since this video was premiered on YouTube, it actually has a live chat we can look at where KP admits that most of the video is fully completed before the Saberspark allegations dropped, effectively confirming that she decided to sloppily attach Saberspark's name and allegations to her DAGames exposed video for...
Sorry.
What reason exactly?
Now, what I want to see, myself, is I want to see like how badly does she tackle it, because those allegations so far they're not very airtight. So if she buys it, 100%, and she calls him a disgusting person, a rapist, then holy shit, that would not save her.
These are two very different situations and should be covered in their own separate videos. They have literally no relation to each other. The only factor I can think of is that both DAGames and Saberspark knew and were friends with Black Griffon, someone who was also recently accused of terrible shit like grooming a minor. And while Griffon does play
he's a better target in my opinion, because that guy, he's shady.
Decent part in both stories here. These situations are way too different to just be thrown together like this, not to mention the massive difference when it comes to the evidence here. I already said I wasn't going to go into the validity of the allegations themselves and just wanted to focus on how they were tackled, but it's so obvious this was originally a DAGames video, and Saber was just slapped into it last minute, because DAGames has a decent bit of evidence against him, whereas Saber currently only has a single twit longer. If KP actually...
That is so funny, yeah, it gives more ammunition to people to like take down your video. Like if you make I'm gonna be very charitable, right? Let's say you like a very strong argument against DAGames, right? People will watch the video and be like, well, you're clearly not right because you fucked up this shit about Saberspark, and they would just they would sidestep it entirely.
Actually cared about the
like these allegations, any allegation like this, involving kids, minors, or sexual violence, always tackle it very slowly with a fine tooth comb.
Against Saber, they would wait until more information came out before publishing this video, or just leave the Saber stuff for its own entire video. Saber plays such a minuscule part in this video, by the way, yet he's the first name put in the title, he's in the thumbnail, and KP hyped up his inclusion for weeks. It's almost like Saber was haphazardly thrown into the video and marketed as the main focus purely for clicks, and not out of an actual sense of justice or care for the victim. It's clout chasing, and if it isn't, then it certainly comes off that way. And let's not forget, by the way, KP knew about the Saber allegations weeks before they went public. They went public
Did she actually? I knew that this account, Bernie Fandon, was in contact with her to make the video, but like she knew before then?
day this video came out, in fact. So she was just sitting on this information for weeks. And I say she was sitting on this information and not just putting it in the video because she provides no new evidence at all. She provides the victim's testimony, which is basically the extent of what's actually out there, and that's it. Saber should not have
nothing new at all? What a worthless attempt, yeah.
Been the main focus of this video.
God.
And the fact this information wasn't made public for weeks while she pretended to do fuck all to actually look into it for more evidence and justify its inclusion is really dodgy. KP, if the victims are actually telling the truth here about DAGames and Saber, you have done a horrible job and have arguably put them in an even worse position. You know you don't exactly get second chances when it comes to covering serious allegations, right? The first shot is really your only shot, not because someone more competent can come in and set the record straight.
Again, you know, to really emphasize this, right? I have not seen a bigger person than her tackle this stuff. Like, I've seen it on Reddit, but like, I never touched it with a 10-foot long pole because they're very dodgy, they're very serious, right? So it's the biggest person, you know, if you have like a sizable platform, like, you know, like she does, nearly 100k subs, right? You have to be very, very careful, like, tackling it. But, you know, as your first attempt, you blew it.
Right, because the general public is fucking dumb. If you screw up the first expose on these people, then that's going to stick, and it's going to harm the credibility of the accusers through no fault of their own. If these people are telling the truth, you have failed these people, and I sincerely doubt any revisions you plan on making to this video when it gets re-uploaded are going to help. You are not in any position to cover subjects like this again.
Bro, this guy right now in the video, he's livid.
And no victim should ever trust you to spread awareness about their stories ever again. And
he actually probably pissed off.
Let's not forget that Courtney, one of the people you had work on this video with you, was spotted in the live chat arguing with and shaming CSA survivors who were not happy with the video's presentation. And
I was gonna defend her for a bit because, you know, like, I saw a video from her about Gabriel Brown and it was not that bad. But was she arguing with victims?
How you turn this into a spectacle. If you have such blatant disrespect for the matter of sexual assault and predation that you need to treat your coverage of it as a complete joke, and then one of the people who helped work on this video with you is getting passive-aggressive with CSA survivors in the live chat, then how the fuck do you expect anyone to take you seriously ever again? Please, for your sake and the victims, do not cover situations like this again. I don't care that you're working on a revision for the video. Either you hand the topic off to someone who's more qualified, or you simply leave it alone. You had your shot and you blew it. There's some other things I could probably talk about, like how there's a random section about Lily Orchard in this video for literally no reason.
Why? But like, what a bizarre trifecta going after DAGames. Fair enough, like if what the guy said is true, you know, that we have some evidence so far about some bad stuff, that's fine. But you've got DAGames, Saberspark, very, you know, dodgy allegations, and then Lily Orchard. Like, just keep your scope on one person.
Or the fact that Chris Chan typed a message
No way.
in the live chat.
I feel like shit has gone on for far too long. Oh, you cannot say that,
And everyone
Christine.
thought that was just normal for some reason. But that's basically all I have to talk about here. I'm sure in the coming weeks there will be more developments in the Saberspark and DAGames situations respectively, and whether the allegations are revealed to be true or false is anyone's guess. I just wanted to focus on this video because it is a perfect example of how not to expose YouTubers for serious stuff like this, and how dumbass YouTubers have the potential to completely sabotage the victim's efforts to seek justice if they are telling the truth. It's a gross video, and I hope everyone involved with the production regrets it for the rest of their lives.
Okay, I say, you know, at best, they learn from it. That's all I would say. But regret it for the entire
Anyway,
life?
that's the end of the video. And if you've ever suffered at the hands of a predator or abuser, then please take it through the proper channels and authority figures who can help you seek justice, and not a brony YouTuber
So what does that mean, sorry? Go back a second.
please take it through the proper channels.
Proper channels, not YouTube channels. Who else?
And authority figures who can
Yeah, like, you know, like, go to the police, definitely. But like, when you hear channels, no music of YouTube.
help you seek justice, and not a brony YouTuber with a dying channel.
Holy shit. And this guy? Wait, what was his name? Sorry, let me check again. His name, Cartoon Shi, Japanese symbol. This guy cooked entirely, my god. Yeah, so, you know, so when I first watched the video, right, I watched like 10 minutes of it. I was like, it feels a bit dragged out. Like, I heard during the beginning, I was like, oh, maybe the video is not that bad, you know, because with something that big, that means, you know, there's like some credible parts for the video. But yeah, now after seeing like all the awful memes and the awful tactics she has done so far, you know, holy shit, thank God she took it down. Because my god, bro, like, how can you have a video up like that, you know, talking about allegations, and it's full of like, you know, Simpsons, Family Guy, Seinfeld gags, like the worst shit ever, right? You know, like, I have no idea about your DAGames, but like, if you're covering Saberspark allegations, then, you know, you can't really go like full force into it. Just talk about it very lightly, and that's it. But even worse, you know, don't compile it with, you know, with DAGames and Saberspark, you know, a bit of Lily Orchard. Like, it just makes your video so messy. It makes it so messy, and like the guy said before, it hurts the victim's stories, if they're true, you know, if they really want justice from this. So, I mean, if ILoveKimPossibleAlot, if you're watching this video, you know, you can redo the video again, like, you know, I think this guy went a bit too far being like, you know, you fucked up. You can redo it, but like, you know, please learn now in the future to like, learn how to tackle it properly. Because from that first attempt, it sucked so bad. You blew it. You blew it!